Anytime you don't make the playoffs, the ownership has the right to do whatever they want.
Nothing off the table when the team doesn't live up to expectations.
The Calgary Flames are looking for a fresh start after failing to make the playoffs last year. The new campaign gives Daryl Sutter a full season behind the bench. The Flames went 15-15 under Sutter and finished 4 points back of the Habs in the North Division. Calgary says goodbye to captain Mark Giordano after 949 games with the franchise. The defenseman moves to the Seattle Kraken. Back-to-back Stanley Cup champ Blake Coleman joins on a 6-year deal and provides some depth up front, while Nikita Zadorov and Eric Goodbranson add size and experience to the D-core. Noah Hannafin is expected to take on a bigger role with Giordano now gone, but the Flames' success will be tied to the production from their forwards.
There's pressure on them right now, and rightfully so. He needs to find a way to score.
Calgary was tied for 19th in the NHL, scoring 2.77 goals per game last season. Sean Monahan had 18 points in 50 games last year. Top scorer Johnny Gaudreau is in the final year of his contract, and the Flames will need more from Matthew Tkachuk, who is an RFA at the end of the year. If the forwards fail to regain their past scoring touch, big changes could be coming in Calgary.
When we're chatting Calgary Flames, we got to bring in the expert. That's Ryan Leslie from Calgary, Sportsnet's own. Ryan, thanks so much for doing this. Let's get right into it. We are heading into a season for the Calgary Flames where we're not necessarily talking about what's going to be happening on the ice. Instead, we're looking beyond the season. That is because it's the contract year, a UFA year for Johnny Gaudreau, an RFA year for Matthew Tkachuk. So what are you expecting from those two players this season?
This soap opera, rather, just doesn't seem to want to end, because I think we've been talking about the Johnny Gaudreau saga for some time. Great questions. I'm not sure anybody has the answers, including, management, including the players themselves. Johnny Gaudreau, as you mentioned, is going to be a free agent. If I'm predicting, I'm saying he is gone come trade deadline time. This is a player who wants to get back offensively. He didn't have a terrible year last year, but he knows that there's more. And this is a player who likes Calgary. This is a player who, his career has been here. He's an East Coast guy, but he's always had a home here. The fan base absolutely loves him. But I just can't help but think, if there was a market before, I feel that maybe something might have happened via the trade route prior to now. I just don't think the market for him was strong enough. On the Matthew Tkachuk front, I'm not sure how this one plays out either. And I'm not trying to avoid the question. I'm just not so sure that the plan is in place just yet. It's a very talented player who needs to bounce back, needs to have some playoff success, has been critical of his lack of it in the past, of his own game. But we've seen his dad, Keith, play hardball. We've seen Matthew play hardball. We've seen Brady now playing hardball. The Tkachuks are Team Tkachuk, and this is business. I think Flames fans love him. I think he's great for the Battle of Alberta. He's great for television. He's great for our purposes in the media. He's a guy you want in your locker room. But at this point, I don't think the plan is locked in, so time will tell.
So let's say we get into a position in Calgary where Johnny Gaudreau is traded and all of a sudden the season feels a little rudderless. The team will need some stability, leadership in the locker room to make sure things don't spiral out of control. You don't necessarily have that this year with Mark Giordano being gone. Who do you think has the opportunity to provide some locker room leadership?
I think it's by committee, honestly. There's a nucleus that have been together here for some time. Is there a clear cut, you got to put a C on this guy's sweater? Not right now. There isn't. And the team has said it'll have to happen organically if we're going to put a C on somebody's sweater. And it isn't there just yet. They did add a lot of leadership and some Stanley Cup champions into their locker room. So that's a good sign in terms of the question about leadership, to maybe assist that already established nucleus that has to be the horses that you've got to depend on night in, night out. We'll see how that one plays out as well. But right now, there is no clear-cut captain at this point.
There will be some leadership behind the bench for sure. Daryl Sutter at the helm, a veteran coach. Now he has a full offseason to prepare for a full season, his first full season again as head coach of the Calgary Flames. What are you expecting from Daryl Sutter this year?
Well, probably exactly what we expect out of any Daryl Sutter coach team. It won't be flashy. It won't be a track meet. I think we're looking down the barrel of 2-1 hockey games, and you better have good goaltending because Daryl likes his good goalies, and he also knows that he's accurate in his assessment of what his team is and isn't, I believe. So if you're going to win in this division, which is a really curious division this year with the likes of what Vegas is doing, what's Edmonton doing? Is Seattle going to make some noise? Is LA closer than we think? We're not sure. It's wide open. You mentioned leadership behind the bench. They also added Kirk Muller. So a great resume there, a good person who can also help Daryl tap into some players, maybe on the personal level, that good cop, bad cop type of thing. I think this is going to be a key addition to trying to get players back to where they were and beyond. So the combination of those two will be fascinating to watch behind that bench.
The combination of Ryan Leslie and Sportsnet, always fantastic. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us, and thanks for chatting some Calgary Flames.
Thanks for having me.